I know that people will be hurt by that vote, and we worked very hard to try to get a budget deal that wouldn't include that provision.
DFL Speaker Emerita Melissa Hortman emotional following the House's adjournment from a special session Monday. Hortman was the lone DFL lawmaker to cast a vote to cut Minnesota Care access for undocumented immigrants. It's a move she made with a heavy heart.
I did what leaders do. I stepped up and I got the job done for the people of Minnesota.
The bill was deeply unpopular with members of the DFL caucus. Members have repeatedly expressed frustration that the bill was part of a compromise, one that would ensure the necessary GOP votes to pass the rest of the state budget.
We are tremendously disappointed and gut-wrenched at this decision, at this compromise that compromises our communities that are most vulnerable.
Hortman knows she let down her own caucus members with the vote.
They're right to be mad at me. I think some of them are pretty angry. I think that their job was to make folks who voted for that bill feel like crap, and I think that they succeeded.
Over in the Senate, a similar situation unfolded. Senate Majority Leader Erin Murphy forced to vote for a bill she too disagreed with to uphold the integrity of their compromise.
This one hurt. This one is a wound because of its reason. My colleagues across the aisle set this as their number one priority.
Asked whether the move would drive a wedge between her and the rest of her caucus, her DFL colleague, Senator John Marty, quickly stepped to her defense.
As a member of the caucus, yes, sir, she clearly was fighting against it every step of the way. In the negotiations, if we wanted a budget, we had to agree to that. She agreed to put up one vote for us because of that.
Reporting in St. Paul, I'm Quinn Gorham.
Wow. So this is the Minnesota rep that was shot and killed today.
So is this the cause?
This is something that she did. We can't say it's the cause, but it's speculatory that this is the cause.
It seems as if it is the cause. Well, not this exact.
Let's not say that's what it is, because we don't know the facts yet. It's still developing.
But the no kings in the car, the suspect's car, it's kind of it's kind of fishy, bro.
Yeah.
That in itself.
It was definitely political. We know it's political. Wait, so it was another couple that's in critical condition, right?
Yeah, another Minnesota rep was hit.
This is a live look in Brooklyn Park. Police there have issued a shelter in place for a 3-mile radius surrounding the Edinburgh golf course for an emergency event. Officers are looking for a suspect in multiple targeted shootings who is considered armed and dangerous. The suspect is a white man with brown hair. He is wearing black body armor over a blue shirt and blue pants. Police say he may misrepresent himself as law enforcement. Please be careful if you are in that area. We're also been told that people are told to not answer the door. There's a knock at the door unless they see more than one law enforcement officer there. Once again, a live look there in Brooklyn Park, shelter in place there for people within a 3-mile radius of the Edinburgh golf course.
So she was a Democrat.
Yeah.
And she made one decision that cost her life, possibly.
Yeah.
Breaking news right now. Sources telling ABC News that 2 Minnesota state lawmakers have been shot in what law enforcement officials say was a targeted incident. Let's get right on the phone now with ABC News chief investigative reporter Josh Margolin. Josh, you've been following this all morning long. What do we know right now?
Gio, good morning. It's a very, very serious situation just north of Minneapolis in the Hennepin County suburbs, highly populated area. We have a former Speaker of the State House and a state senator, both Democrats. Not saying that party has anything to do with it at all at this point, but both are Democrats. Apparently, they were in their separate homes near each other, and allegedly they were shot by the same perpetrator. Perpetrator is now on the run. The injuries are serious, grave. It's a very serious situation. The governor is on site, as is the FBI.
And I know that you're learning that the FBI is now involved. We believe at this point that the shooter was impersonating law enforcement? Yes, that is believed to be what happened. The shooter was definitely apparently wearing some sort of tactical gear and reported to be looking like impersonating law enforcement. That could ultimately not be the case when they finally get a hold of the shooter. But part of this is they wanted to alert the local population. This is somebody who needs to be considered very, very dangerous. We're also learning here, Josh, that both of these lawmakers were shot at their homes. Is that right?
Yes, apparently both at their homes. Law enforcement was very, very quick to say these are targeted attacks. That is language that they use when they want the public to know there's not some sort of active shooter randomly shooting at people outside. But yes, they were targeted at their homes. And as you know, Gio, state lawmakers tend to be highly accessible. They're members of the community, members of the population, mothers at PTA meetings and parents who go to Little League games.
All right, Josh Margolin, our chief investigative reporter, thank you so much. I know you're going to stay on this all morning long here and all day long for sure. Josh, thank you for joining us here.
That's some scary movie type of crap, bro.
Given the targeted shootings of state lawmakers that happened overnight, we are asking the public to not attend today's planned demonstrations across Minnesota out of an abundance of caution. I'll stand for any questions.
Are there reasons to believe that these events were also targeted by the person in the manifesto in the car?
We don't have any direct links. However, there were some flyers that said no kings within the suspect vehicle. And as we know, the planned events throughout the state of Minnesota today is a no kings event.
So no update on the status of the suspect?
I don't have any information on the ongoing investigation right now.
On the list of targets, for lack of a better term, are all of the people on the list, have they all been notified, and do they have law enforcement presence with them?
Again, that is part of the investigation right now, so I'm not going to answer those. Thank you.
So, I'm sorry, as I mentioned, we're getting to investigatory information. I'll leave that to Superintendent Evans.
Yeah, and good afternoon again, everyone, or good morning. Drew Evans, Superintendent of the Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension.
Superintendent, can we have it quiet out there so everybody can hear?
This pissed me off.
What I wanted to note, though, is part of this, the references, the individual that is a person of interest that we've talked about, or individuals, are not in custody at this time. And so the reference materials that were inside of the vehicle that we saw, we have no understanding that any of the No Kings events would be targeted, but we also find it of interest to the public that these would be in there, and we want to alert everybody until we do that. Because this is such an active investigation with information not knowing right now, we feel it's an obligation to all of you and the public across the state of Minnesota to alert you of it, and that's why the Colonel made the notation of recommending people don't go today. But the individuals are not in custody yet, and so we want to make sure as that very active manhunt is underway and continues, that we make sure that we're sharing that, and that's part of why we're making the recommendation. As to that investigation and the list, we are working through that now and talking to individuals, and we'll continue to. What I would say with the list is there's a large number of people. That's all I can say about it. We will work through all of that, what the motivations of this are, and we'll provide that as you.
At this point, man, going outside without the Second Amendment, it would be wild right now. The tensions are looking very high right now.
Bro, they literally can do nothing about this, bro. They came to their door as a law enforcement.
Yeah, that's
pretending to be law enforcement.
Yeah, bro, but why would they have to put the No Kings attached with that?
Because it was found in the vehicle's car. I mean, the suspect's car.
Like, there's nothing.
It's not like he came and dropped it off.
Yeah. I know, bro. I'm just saying, what's they plan? What ruckus is they trying to cause with leaving that on the scene, knowing that it's gonna be the first thing the police are gonna see?
Anybody that sides with Trump, it wasn't left on the scene.
Well,
it was found in the vehicle's car on the investigation that's going, in the suspect's car in the investigation that's going on.
Where was the car at?
I don't know.
I'm really pissed off. It's these fucking Democrats' fault. It's the Democrats' fault.
People blaming Trump.
Well, I can't blame no one but the shooter right now. But the dude, it's some speculations that the dude did work with Tampon Tim.
No, that's not true.
He didn't work with him?
He wasn't an appointee?
I keep seeing that everywhere.
Yeah, I do too.
Really? Where'd you see that?
I seen that
everywhere. Multiple places. We'll pull up Tampon Tim's
Tim and them were on the list to get killed. So
I mean that doesn't matter. He still could. I think he worked with Tim. We're finna pull it up though.
For real?
Yeah, we should pull that up too.
That's what I'm trying to find. I don't know why I can't
must have deleted it.
Said at the press conference earlier, Morgan, that they had found a list inside of that car that he had at one of the lawmakers' homes. Remember, they said that it looked like a police cruiser with lights flashing, and now sources are telling us a bit more about exactly who was on that list that was found in the car. They're saying that it included multiple Democratic lawmakers, both at the state and the federal level. That included Governor Tim Walz, who we heard speaking earlier today. It includes the Democratic State Attorney General, Keith Ellison. It also includes Congressman Ilhan Omar, who, of course, is quite outspoken and known from that state, and another a senator from Minnesota, Tina Smith. So those are high-level, notable names. We're also told that investigators are looking into whether or not this suspect or person of interest was possibly motivated by extreme views on abortion. So a little bit more coming out about who this individual could have been targeting and perhaps why. But again, we've heard from law enforcement that this is a rapidly developing situation. They are getting more information and they are also learning as they go. Certainly.
Wow.
Oh, man. Let's listen to what Tim said.
Former appointee of Tim Walz.
Oh, wow. Saw the politically motivated assassination of Minnesota lawmaker and husband days after she voted with GOP as cops revealed disturbing manifesto. So it's confirmed he was an appointee for real.
Yes.
Oh, wow. That's the first I'm hearing that.
For real? I'm telling you, bro. That's what messed me up. That's him.
Yeah, it's the first I'm hearing this.
Wait, so this is the guy, this is the killer?
Yeah,
this is the suspect.
Yes. This is the killer. The
suspected
alleged killer. Alleged,
Bro,
y'all.
no matter how much I dislike Tim Walz or Ilhan Omar, I do not wish death upon anybody.
Nobody do.
So how weird are these people?
We're here today because an unspeakable tragedy has unfolded in Minnesota. My good friend and colleague, Speaker Melissa and her husband Mark, were shot and killed early this morning in what appears to be a politically motivated assassination. Our state lost a great leader, and I lost a dearest of friends. Speaker Hortman was someone who served the people of Minnesota with grace, compassion, humor, and a sense of service. She was a formidable public servant, a fixture and a giant in Minnesota. She woke up every day determined to make this state a better place. She is irreplaceable, and we've been missed by so many. Minnesota's thoughts and prayers are with her family, her loved ones, her children, and her parents.
Well, I gotta say, I think that some of his rhetoric attributed to this. You're radicalizing people. You're calling Trump supporters Nazis, fascists, all these things, Hitler, et cetera, et cetera. You're motivating people to want to take matters into their own hand. I say some of the blood is on your hands now. That's just my personal opinion.
It was a Democrat doing it to another Democrat.
Okay, so. And
I wouldn't say that was his fault.
Because the Democrats that were shot sided with the GOP in the past. And he's been saying that the GOP is Nazis, Hitler, fascists, all these things. And these people are obviously mentally unwell.
But if it was his fault, why would a person also want to target him too? That's why, in my personal opinion, it might be deeper than what we even can see.
That's true. That's true.
That's my personal
because we don't know what was the motive. So
we don't know.
I think my statements were made in bad taste. But I would say if it was a radical Democrat and they were trying to do something that was radical in the name of Democrats, I would say that the blood is on his hands.
Maybe
some aspect.
That the killer wanted these people to be more radical than what they already are. Like maybe they wanted Tim, like they're saying you're not doing enough.
So you telling me
Tim's pretty radical. Tim and the Somali pirate Ilhan Omar are pretty radical.
Why else would he put no kings in the car?
Because that was the.
I feel like that's what he was trying to make a political uproar around everybody. That's what I took from him because he was he dressed up as a police officer. He had this in his car, and on top of that, he had a list of who Democrats he was finna kill. That kind of
because they weren't doing enough to get Donald Trump for being a king. That's
not even that.
They said there was 70 names on the list.
You know, was they all Democrats?
I don't know.
Who knows?
I think they was trying to make this seem like the right did this.
No,
I might be a stretch. They was trying to make the right.
That's a stretch. That's
so
wrong.
Why would they have a police officer in the car?
That's completely wrong. That's completely wrong. That is completely wrong.
So why he used the police
officer?
That's
completely wrong.
Why did he put no keys?
So they would trust him and open the door, dumbass. What the hell you mean?
Yeah.
You just gonna open the door to some dude holding a gun? No. When you see a cop with a gun, cops are supposed to have guns. That was a dumb question. That was a horrible comparison you just made. I got to be honest with you. They're trying to blame this on the right. Now, in nothing we've just watched, I heard anything that was making this.
Look,
that was terrible.
Hold on, though. We don't know anything. Let's just leave it at this. Someone died for a political ideology.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
But Dems killing Dems, though?
I don't know.
I don't understand why that shocks you. They turn on each other all the time. When you
that's pretty insane to me.
That doesn't shock me.
To me, this is the problem. Tim And y'all actually, some of y'all Democrats know that the shit y'all are doing is wrong. Y'all know that Donald
I think
Trump's
they believe everything they're saying.
Okay, if they do or not. But I'm just saying, these people actually, some of these people like this killer, they need help. Instead of going and making them seem like they're right, get them help. Nobody believes Donald Trump's going to be a fucking king.
Well, they really believe that. Fascism, authoritarianism, Hitler.
They need help.
Nazi.
They need help. Don't make them
I think they believe what they saying.
Don't let them go on the street and do all this protesting for what is that going to help?
They think they're standing up to the authoritarian king.
Donald Trump is finna speak right now. Things like nothing happened. So you guys are doing all this shit for no reason, bro. I mean, he's finna go speak right now. I mean,
They said they're trying to have a counter protest at that right now.
They're mentally ill, just like this killer. And these people, the media and these Democrat officials, they're egging this shit on. And it's y'all's fault. That's why I say
I can't blame them. I cannot blame them.
Well,
this man did his own crazy shit on his own.
Hey, and when you call someone a fascist, bro, and actually Hitler.
But we can't say that if they're trying to kill Democrats. We can't use that. They're trying to kill Democrats. They're trying to kill the most extreme Democrats.
And that's how extreme he is. No, he want to go more.
I can't blame Tim Walz. I can't blame any Democrats up there for this. This person was unhinged and did this shit himself.
Well, obviously, yes.
So I can't blame.
I respect that take.
I can't.
I respect that take. Based on what we know, you really can't point any fingers right now.
Because they're trying to kill them. Why would I? Oh, I made somebody so they could kill me.
Yes.
That's just how it.
I respect that take. That does sound bad. That does sound bad. I respect that take.
I don't know, man. This guy looks pretty weird, though.
I can't blame no side.
We don't know enough right now.
That's why I said it had to be some under the woodworks type of stuff. Like somebody trying to cause uproar in the country, probably. We don't know that's trying to fund something.
The other people that he targeted, did they vote with the GOP also?
No.
They
just the two that got killed did.
Yes. That's what I'm saying.
The two that were shot. Two of the people that were shot, the woman and her husband are dead, and the other one and his wife are in critical condition.
This guy's a weirdo, man. He's an idiot.
That's the dude that got shot. Yeah, him and his wife. They're in critical condition.
Down the street.
It's crazy stuff, huh?
And the dude used to work for Tim. So why would Tim have somebody that used to work for him want to plot on him?
See, this how allegedly they say, is this
that's him? I don't know if that's him. No, we can't tell.
Yes, this is a suspect that pulled up to her house. So if a random dude pulled up to your house like that, not looking like a cop, you opening the door?
Wait, is that a mask?
I might not open the door.
No, that's his face.
I might not open the door to the cop. I might hit the ring camera. If it's that nighttime ring camera, you got to, what's wrong, officer? All right, no warrant.
I'm going to be real, bro. Anybody would have got hit with that shit.
Possibly, yeah.
Anybody would have got hit with that shit. So,
I didn't use the ring camera.
If it's a random dude in a bulletproof vest at your door, y'all not opening that door.
No,
if they pretend to be police with flashing lights outside, you're gonna open them.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Anybody would have got hit with that move.
Yeah, so, that's what I'm saying. But he was saying at first they making it seem like the right did it, and because he pulled up in armor, I was like, I can't say that, brother.
I can't say that.
I said that because the only reason I said that was because he impersonated a cop.
Look,
he could have just came and killed them and moved around.
For you to write no kings on multiple cards,
maybe he printed those off.
That's an extremist.
You think he wrote those no kings?
He had to, and then he had a list to kill people.
This guy, he wrote that, bro. This guy is an extremist.
Yeah, he did write that. Yeah.
So I just think that the Democrats weren't doing what he wanted. He said, "I'm gonna kill some Democrat lawmakers because they sided with the GOP."
But that don't make sense
to
me, bro.
I don't understand why that doesn't make sense. They literally turn on each other all the time.
But why they don't attack no Republicans then? Why the Dems just got hit?
I don't know.
That's
Minnesota though. This is a blue state. Happened in Minnesota. It's a blue state. All those people on that list are in Minnesota.
But you know, he could have got some Republicans.
Let us know what y'all theory is in the comments, though, guys. We're out of here.